What's going on, guys? This is Ryan with the RK Outpost, and just a couple months after The Rise of Skywalker, which was just an incredible disappointment to so many Star Wars fans, and likely to Disney and Lucasfilm as well, and after Bob Iger saying, we're going to take a break for a while, just focus on the Disney Plus stuff, and we know the production problems that they have. Mandalorian 2 is going forward, that seems to be the only thing without any issues. But Obi-Wan is delayed indefinitely. Cassian Andor is delayed indefinitely with... Come on, does anybody really care about that? I don't see that ever seeing the light of day. We have a new project in the works. This time, probably a movie. You can see right here, new Star Wars movie in the works with Slight filmmaker. Now, it should be noted that there's a lot of supposed movies in the works. We know what happened to Benioff and Weiss's trilogy when they left. We know that Kevin Feige supposedly is producing a movie. We know about the Rian Johnson trilogy that is still somehow not been announced as canceled or not going forward or anything like that. We've heard rumors about Taika Waititi. He's been pretty wishy-washy on that. Whether that has any validity, who knows? This is another one, but this one might be a little harder to not follow through on, and I'll tell you why after we read this news. I did do a video on Geeks and Gamers about this yesterday when it first broke, but we've got a little more reaction from people, including John Boyega. I think that might be interesting. John Boyega and Grace Randolph had a little interaction on Twitter, so we'll take a look at that. Director J.D. Dillard and Luke Cage writer Matt Owens have been tapped to develop a project, but it's unclear whether it's a theatrical or Disney Plus release. That should be noted, Iger did say that they're going to be focusing on the Disney Plus stuff for a while. But when you start to develop a movie, this could be 3 years out, no problem, if that was really the case. So maybe this is that first movie in December of 2022, I think that they want to do. Who knows? As Lucasfilm maps out the next phase of Star Wars movies, executives are grappling with the question, what characters and stories justify theatrical release and which should arrive exclusively on streaming platform Disney Plus? The Hollywood Reporter learned Friday that a new Star Wars project is in the works. J.D. Dillard, best known for writing and directing the sci-fi thriller Slight, and I gotta be upfront and honest, I have no idea what that is. I've never seen it. I had never heard of J.D. Dillard before this article. And Matt Owens, writer on Marvel shows Luke Cage and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is fine, I guess. Luke Cage is kind of boring, just my opinion. Have been tagged to develop it. But insiders say it's undecided whether it be for the big screen or the streaming platform. Here is the weird part. Plot details, character details, and setting details are unknown and are being kept in the murky underworld of Exegol. It's unclear whether Dillard would direct should the project move forward. The Dillard project is understood to be unrelated to the Star Wars pitch by Kevin Feige and potential work from Last Jedi director Rian Johnson. Now, this Exegol comment, a lot of people have taken this to assume that they're just making a little slight of, or a little, not slight, but just a little comment about, yeah, it's being kept in the dark right now. But a lot of other people are saying that it is rumored to be on the Sith planet of Exegol. So they say that plot details, character details, setting details are unknown and are being kept in the murky underworld of Exegol. But you can see that a lot of places are actually reporting it will take place on the hidden Sith planet of Exegol, including Deadline, which was introduced in December Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. Now, I think that'd be a huge mistake. They would clearly just be trying to explain all these plot holes that they created by Rise of Skywalker. I think people want to be done with that era right there. Now, if you're going to do some several hundred years before, explain how all these people got there, all that stuff separated from the sequel trilogy, I guess that makes a little bit of sense. But who freaking knows? Exegol. No one cares about the sequel trilogy. Don't bring them back to it if you're Star Wars. But the reason... And let's go to John Boyega first because that is funny. That's really funny to me. This is Grace Randolph on Twitter. She's talking about The Witcher. Somebody asks her, what are your thoughts on this? And about exactly this Star Wars movie. Grace says, too early. I don't know if it's a movie or Disney Plus. Don't know the characters or story. I hope it's got a person of color as the lead. Maybe John Boyega shouldn't have been so dismissive. One, why do you care who's in the lead? That's the first thing you think of before you know anything about it. I hope it has a person of color as the lead. Just because the filmmaker is black? That's why you say that? You hope it has a person of color as the lead? That seems weird to me. He says the fans were being disgusting and awful towards him, though. He shouldn't let that ruin career opportunities for him. Well, the man himself comes in. Thank you for your concern, Grace. Watched your reaction video years ago. I'm headed in another direction. There are no lost opportunities. Your assumptions are very interesting and funny. And someone says, yeah, Grace is awesome. And then a lot of compliments towards Boyega. And then he says, she's great. She definitely needs more solid industry info, though, and a solid understanding of the process. Her voice could be cool for that. There you go. So I'll give you a like, John Boyega. I'll like that. Only 26 likes? That's crazy. This is like 3 hours ago. So maybe not many people have seen this, but I thought it was interesting. Now, one of the reasons I say that this project, unlike so many others, may be a little harder to just leave and just walk away from is because already, much like Grace Randolph did, we've seen a lot of people who are just only concerned with the color of the filmmakers. A new Star Wars project would be the first in a franchise helmed by a person of color. Yes, a POC. I know how much they love being called that. Yes, POC. The Star Wars franchise is a state of awkward flux right now, but The Hollywood Reporter reports a new project in the works. Should it get off the ground, it would be the first in the franchise to be helmed by a person of color. And just like many of us are speculating, one of the reasons it's so difficult for them to come out and fire Kathleen Kennedy because they don't want to be seen as firing a woman in power at Hollywood. I feel like it could be really tough, and there could be a lot of pressure from the industry insiders as well as the social media brigade on Twitter if they were to let this project go, to fire them, whatnot, just because of all these things we're already seeing like this. Dillard, meanwhile, will follow in the footsteps of indie filmmakers who've been handed major franchise films, like Colin Trevorrow. A lot of people wish he would have stayed on for episode 9. Jodan Vogt Roberts, Kathy Yan, and Chloe Zhao. The difference is Dillard, unlike them, already has a foot in the genre filmmaking. Slight was a lo-fi riff on the superhero movie, while Sweetheart was a survivalist horror number. Perhaps his Star Wars movie will be more minimalist, perhaps more Rogue One than Rise of Skywalker. We'll see. I think a lot of people would like that. But we have here, again, another one. Star Wars and a new hope for inclusion. Yet it's just all coming out of the woodwork. Everybody is really excited that a POC could be making a movie instead of being worried about the real thing. And I will borrow a phrase from my internet dad, Gary Beegler, a POT, person of talent. That should be the most important thing that everyone's worried about. And I'm not going to judge J.D. Dillard because, like I said, before I heard this news, I knew nothing about this guy. I've never seen Slight. Probably going to go check it out now that he could potentially be doing a Star Wars project in the future. But I'm not going to judge him because I don't know him. But it's sad. Like, if I were him, I'd be like, wow, I've got a Star Wars project. Everyone, go see what everyone's saying. Everyone's like, wow, it's so awesome they hired a black man. It's so great a black person's doing this, as opposed to, wow, J.D. Dillard is really, like, his movie making is going to be great. He's really qualified for it because he did this. But no, it's so many articles like this, and at least this one mentioned it at the end. But so many articles like this that are just talking about his skin color. I'd be insulted by that personally, but that's just me. I don't know anything about it. I can't say I've ever been in that spot before. But I think that another Star Wars project. You see here the subtitle. Lucasfilm has hired J.D. Dillard and Matt Owens to develop a new project, which could become the first feature set in a galaxy far, far away, overseen by filmmakers of color. Well, thank God. Heaven forbid it just be a good movie. Heaven forbid we just get a good Star Wars movie from a Disney Star Wars, which a lot of people are just freaking done with. Even the shill Scott Mendelson realizes the damage that has been done to this franchise and that it's going to have a tough time recovering. But I guess it's not really we're taking a rest. We're going to let it breathe for a little bit from Bob Iger because they just keep coming out and announcing more things in the works. Will it ever happen? Who knows? We know Rian Johnson's trilogy is not happening. Come on, we know that we can't know for a fact, but I think a lot of people would be shocked if it happened at this point. We haven't heard anything about it. They might as well just come out and say it's canceled. But another project, what do you guys think about this? If it could be set on Exegol, is that something you'd be interested in? Do you think maybe they're on board? Maybe they would want to do something before, maybe set in the High Republic era on Exegol, maybe a Disney Plus series? Who knows what's going on here, to be quite honest, but interesting that another project's been announced and that not a whole lot of people on the internet care about it. I think people are so over Star Wars. Like, this should have been #1 trending immediately. A new Star Wars movie in development. But it's just not, because people have just lost that care for Disney Star Wars. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Make sure you smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, share this video out there, ring the bell for notifications, and I will talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching, everyone, and a huge shout out to my patrons. I appreciate you guys so much. Want to follow me on Twitter or Instagram? Check out the description below. You'll find links to my P.O. box and my Patreon as well. And I'll talk to you guys later.